Hey guys. Well, so today's been an adventurous plant care day. I have already chopped my Anthurium dock block, Michelle, and it looks beautiful. You can see that in another video. I haven't videoed like step for step because it's just been too stressful for me. So I prefer taking pictures and putting them in a video as I go and edit it in. So we can talk about that in that video. But this one is a sad one for me because, as you all know, my Leo plants first Anthurium Queen, or Queen Warnaquinum, came and arrived. It was gorgeous. The leaf was broken off, and the leaf that was left has been surviving for all these months. So it's been 6 months, not very long really. And I had to chop it. In Instagram. I've been posting some stories on it. So if you're not following me there, you might want to subscribe because I do a lot of stories there versus YouTube videos. Not a lot, but sometimes it's just more convenient. And so I repotted my queen, I'm going to say not more than 2 or 3 weeks ago, and found, because I didn't repot it, I wanted to check the roots. And I found my fear because she wasn't growing and she had rot. So I took off as much rot as I could. I didn't do a very good job since I'm new at this. And I repotted her in the same pot, which was too big. The leaf, it was too big. And so today, since I'm going through the chop phase, I said, well, it's time to look and see what we've got. And I took it out, and there was less roots than what there were, so there's still rot somewhere. And when I went outside and put her in under the hose just so I can see more clearly what's there, I felt like there was a little bit of rot in her stem. So while I was looking, I cut off its first leaf. And I had already cut it in half since it was pretty much dying anyways, and there's no reason to tax the plant. And this is what I have left. Now, the leaf you see here is a new leaf that it grew for me, absolutely beautiful, when it was healthy. I don't know what I did. I think really, even though I used mollies, I used tree fern, I used grit mix, it still wasn't airy enough. And I think that because it wasn't airy enough, it rotted the roots, so in the part of the stem. Or perhaps it had it when I first got it and I wasn't experienced enough to see the root that was there. So now I have the dilemma, right? I know I need, or I should, cut this leaf off if I want this to work on itself. But I'm tormented, and I don't know if I want to do that. I know these aren't very good, healthy roots, but they're roots nonetheless. We've got some little bit of yellowing here. Little bit of yellowing, but I've got growth points on this queen that I could chop and put in water and try to get her to grow for me. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to make the decision here on the video, but I wanted to record it in case I actually post this. So yeah, so that's all I wanted to say right now. And I'll keep you updated. Obviously, if I do publish this video, you're going to be seeing the pictures and the outcomes of this day and possibly in the next few weeks. I don't know. Bye. Good morning, everyone. This is the next day, Sunday, after my chop day yesterday. So since I last recorded on about my war quinum, I didn't make a decision really yesterday. I put it in stratum overnight. But the more I thought about it, I said, I can't put it in stratum or any water with the current roots that I have. Because we all know that if you put roots in water and they have any type of secondary roots, they're going to rot. So that defeats the purpose. So I've decided that I'm going to chop it. So yeah, as scary as that is for me, after being so bolden yesterday and chopping up my beautiful Anthurium Michelle Doc Block, and it was successful. Well, it was successful in doing it. Now, whether or not it likes me in a few weeks, we'll see. I'll do an update video. But I feel very confident based off all the knowledge I've gleaned from, I always forget her channel. You can grow that even here, Alice, and she's just phenomenal. If you haven't watched her, she doesn't promote knowing anything or experience, but she's very knowledgeable, and she's enjoyable to watch. And she's really helped me understand how to chop. So, well, yeah, we'll see. So I decided to go ahead and record today, and so you guys can see what I'm doing, but I may or may not talk during it. We'll just have to figure that out as we go, because I need to concentrate and figure out what's real and what's not real, and how I'm going to do it, because I think there's maybe 2 or 3 growth points, and if I cut it right, I could make 3 plants out of this and keep my leaf and propagate it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to keep my leaf and propagate it and get new roots to grow. Now, I'm torn on like medium. I don't like growing in water directly, only because I feel like that's just promoting more possible rot. But at the same time, my mom grows in water. I see a lot of people growing in water. So I know that's not always the case, but I feel more comfortable putting it in like big chunks of perlite, like wild fern does. But I don't have big chunks of perlite. I have stratum. I'm not comfortable with stratum because, once again, I feel like there's no air. So I probably won't use it. I may do stratum and mix it with perlite, or I think I have pumice. Perlite I actually have coming today from Amazon, but that's not going to help me right now. Pumice is just as good. But then I'm also thinking, what if I do my orchid bark mix and tree fern? So I don't know if I don't want tree fern. That will just choke the stem. I want it to grow in chunks. So whether or not I use the bark mix that I have for my orchids / actually using for my substrate DIY mix now, I just don't know. Yeah, so that's what this video is about, and if that interests you, please follow along, and if you haven't already, I'd appreciate a subscribe and a like. That helps my channel grow. And if you don't know already, you can, I have chapters, so if you want to skip sequences, you can always go into YouTube and go to my description, and you'll see chapters there, and they're kind of like bookmarks, so you can just click to the certain segments you want to see. And then also notification bell. If you're interested in my videos and you want to know when they're coming out, you can simply do notification and then click on the all, and then that will go to your YouTube feed. So anytime that I post, or anytime I do a short, or anytime I do a video, you will get your feed and you'll get a little notification. So you can then just simply click on it rather than go search for it. Which I just actually figured that out myself and did that with a few channels. So anyways, you honor me for watching, and I appreciate this for you being here, and hopefully you get something from it. Hey everyone. So I'm still contemplating like how to do this. As I was getting my stuff out. I've been using, or converting actually, to the naked root pot. Now I only have 3. I had an 8-inch, a 5-inch, and a 3-inch. This morning I just purchased more, since it's Labor Day weekend. They have a sale. And I intend on putting all my Anthurium, which isn't many, in it. My Capria has just absolutely flourished since putting it in it. Just absolutely loving it. And I put my black velvet in it yesterday. So hopefully this is the right decision. And so what I'm thinking, I bring that up because what I'm thinking is I have this 3-inch naked root pot, right? So I'm going to chop my queen. I was going to keep the stem with the current roots. And I'm thinking about putting it in here with my normal substrate. And because if you don't know this already, these aren't semi-hydro. Sorry, my dogs see their neighbor friends. These aren't semi-hydro only pots. You can put whatever you want in them. And I started out, as you know, with grit, which if you don't know that, you can see that video I just put out last week on my update, which as you see, well, you don't see because this is not a 5-inch, but the philodendron did not do well, and to be honest, the grit in here is too super wet, and for some reason, I think it has to do with good roots or just the plant itself and how much water it wants. If your plant doesn't want a lot of water, I personally would not use these. But my Ring of Fire did not do well, and I ended up having to toss him out. So I replaced it with my black velvet with my normal substrate. So I think that's what I'm going to do with the root and the end chop, and put that in here. And then rather than putting it in a all water type consistency, because we know we have to chop those roots, and I don't want to chop the roots because I feel like they're okay. Let's see here, I'll walk slowly because my gimbal is following me. And I don't ever know what it's going to do. So here are, let's see, here we go. So this is what we're talking about, right? So I had it in stratum overnight, and it looks pretty good if you see here, I cut off, I don't know if I can get that. I cut off the stem, part of the stem yesterday because I felt like it was rotting. But what I'm thinking of doing here, and again, I haven't looked at this yet, but I'm thinking of, I saw yesterday, I thought I saw yesterday, like growth points, but now it's a little harder to see. Gosh, where'd it go? Well, I'm not sure, to be honest now. So I've got to figure out where I'm going to do the chop, and then put that in the whatever. If I'm going to use the naked root pot, I'll do that, and then I'll put the rest of her in some kind of substrate in water slash perlite slash whatever. Haven't figured that out yet either. So we're just going as we go. So again, like I said, I'm not experienced doing this at all, and most likely I'm going to flub it up. I don't know. I could have swore it was pretty obvious yesterday what growth point I saw, but it's funny how that works, isn't it? All right. All right. So let me take a look more at this, and then I'll start her up. All right. So I found some more what I perceive to be rot on some of these roots. If you see, I don't know if you can tell, it's awfully small. But there's some real tiny exposed roots that don't have like covering. I don't know if that's really hard to tell. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in 50% hydrogen peroxide, 50% water for about 30 minutes. And then come back and then re-look at it again and decide what I'm going to do. It looks somewhat better to me today after being in stratum all night. But I don't know if that's just me having the hopes that it's better or looks better. But I'm not really trusting what I see. So I still want to chop it, I think. I just don't know where to chop it. What I thought was growth points, I just don't think I see today. I just don't think I see. I mean, the only one that I see is like, I think this is one up here. This may be one, like right here. Or maybe even, I don't know, and maybe even this may be one, but I just don't know for sure. So we'll just figure it out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I just got to get my hydrogen peroxide. Okay. So let's see. I think I'm just going to eyeball it. Can you see? Yeah. I want cup of this. This might be too much, but I don't feel like that it is. Not quite full, but I think that's fine. So we'll just let that sit, like I say, for maybe 30 minutes, and then make the chop. Check this out. Can you guys see it? That is so cool. This is why I like the clear mugs or clear whatever, put our plants in so we can see what's going on. It took me a long time to learn that. It took me a long time to learn that until I started watching, oops, sorry, I'm holding it now. I don't have it in the gimbal. It took me a long time to figure that out. I used to have it all in terracotta pots and I couldn't see any roots. And, but once I bought these tropical plants and started watching some of the YouTube creators, I eventually figured out that it is best to have plastic containers so you can see what's going on with your roots. Now, I will say that you can't really see what's going on with your roots in plastic containers because you've got substrate, right? And if I think my leaves are really what tell me that when there's a problem. So yes, plastic cups, such as, you know, the one I use here, like that one. So yes, that is what I like, but you really, honestly, you don't know what's going on with your roots until it's out of it. So it's really, for me, it's a good identification of watering. You know, it helps me know when I need to water because the condensation of the cup or the plastic starts disappearing. Then you have to also be cautious, and you can tell because it's plastic if it looks wet, but it really isn't wet. So it tells you more things than colored pots, and I would recommend it if you haven't already, for sure. This is so cool. I'm fascinated. I know how hydrogen peroxide works because I use it all the time, but seeing it work on something other than myself is fascinating. Look at that. Look at all the fungus or whatever. It finds all this bacteria and it says, hey, you're out of here. Okay. So I've had that in there for about 45 minutes and it's still working, but it's not as much. I think that's probably good enough for what I want. I just kind of want to get this done with, not have to think about it anymore. I did my watering of plants while I was waiting. Poor little leaf. It's just heartbreaking. All right, so I've got to figure out if this camera, let's get enough. Hopefully it is. All right, let's do it. It's definitely cleaner. If you guys can see that. It's a lot better. This is new. I noticed that yesterday when I pulled him out. So let's see. I think where I'm going to cut him, gosh, I think I'm going to cut him here, and then I'm pretty sure I can't, but this is a new root. So, all right, let's do it. Can you guys see me? It's hard to tell because my camera is like way over here. So I'm going to come under here. I will zoom in. Future Sherry will zoom in. See if I can put you in front of me without blocking my view. All right. Now, where was that? If any of you have done this before that are watching, I'd love to hear from you. What? I should have just cut it when I had a placement. So I'm going to go between here. There it is. Did it. So I'm going to let that sit. Actually, I'm going to put cinnamon on it. I used to have cinnamon. What did I do with it? All right, it's probably in my spice cabinet. Yep. So if anyone doesn't know, that helps no rot set in when you cut a stem like that. But anyhow, I don't know, you know, that's just what I heard. So leave that sit for a minute and take care of this one. So what I think I'm going to do here, can you see me? Can't see me, I'm too close. Still have you in front of me. My dogs are playing with the neighbor dog. So what was I gonna do here? Oh yeah. So now I'm gonna pot it up the bottom half in here in my normal substrate, and that'll be tree fern and mollies, and I think I'm gonna add bark as well, like I did yesterday in my chop. I need to go get that, so I'll be back. All right, so this is what I currently use. I like it because it has small bark, it has perlite, coarse perlite, fir bark, and then some charcoal, carbon charcoal in it. Now I have both of these coming today, like I mentioned, and I think I'm going to start adding a little more because there's more bark than there is those two things. Now, this is pretty small, so I don't have much room. This makes it kind of hairy. So what I was gonna do, oh, this is even awkward. Look, guys. Oh, geez. Well, I could. Pretty sure I want this one. I think this one is the one that needs to ignite, but I don't know. So what I might do is just cover it up to the points of here, which typically I don't put the roots down in this pot that low. I could probably do it like this, because this is where the water will stay until it's all sucked up, you know. Is that the right thing to do? You know what? I'm going to say I'm not going to use it. I think I'm just going to use my normal pot. And I think that's too big. Jeez, it's always something. All right, I need to go get a smaller one, I think. If I have a smaller one. I'll be back. All right. Yay, I've got a 4-inch. So this is a 4-inch pot. This is a 5-inch pot. So let's check this out. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. Now, Alice would put this in a non-draining pot, I think. Or in some cases she would, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with that just because I'm not successful with that. So I feel more comfortable doing this. So what I need now is my pot or my bowl. And I think I'll add a little bit of leca. Always add leca at the bottom because of the drainage. I want it to be easy to come out. Now I want to Add a little bit here of my bark. Can you see me? Yeah. I am going to add tree fern. I'm going to do the same thing I would on a normal plant. Except I won't be adding grit. Like I said, I'm kind of switching to my bark rather than the grit. I definitely believe these need more air than what I was providing it. So that's what we got. I don't know if that's enough, but it's not very big. So let's go ahead and put him in. How did I want to do this? I just kind of wanted to set him down in there. Yeesh. Okay, I think that might work. Unfortunately, he's very tight in here. Do I want to do this one instead? Guys? No. I'm just going to hold off. I just feel like this is still too big. Because it's root growth that I want. And then I'll pot it, obviously, if it survives. So I think I'm going to do that. Put a little bit of this in. Turn it this way. So the only reason I'm doing this with this plant is because I know what a beauty she is when she's healthy. I don't like doing this. I'm not the kind of plant person that wants to do this kind of stuff. You know, I have no intention on selling, etc., like I've said before. I just want healthy plants, and they're aesthetically pleasing for me. So we'll see if she gives me anything in the next few months. It's going to be harder now that winter's going to be here. I don't know if she's deep enough. One thing I forgot is to put the micro in it, but Molly's has that in it, so I'm not going to worry about that, but I will water with some in. So let's go ahead and get that. My biggest challenge is patience. patience on growing these plants. It does take a lot. I have corms that have been trying to grow for months. I'm not very good at it apparently, because it shouldn't take months, but it could just be I don't have the humidity for it. Before I do that, ouch, I want to put my grid on. I'm doing this mainly to keep some moisture in, although it doesn't help much. I mean, it does. I don't want to get this wet. So I will water that bit. Now, dump this. My husband uses NutriBullet, and every NutriBullet that we've gotten, I've saved some of these, and it's going to come in handy with this guy. So the question now is, what am I going to put it in? So I think I'm going to put it in my bark and leca. I really do. I think that's what I'm going to do. Now, that might be the wrong choice. I mean, obviously it's going to be, water is going to be in there, but what I don't want, I just feel like the fish, this stuff, which is fine for a lot of things, but I don't think for 100%. I don't think I'm comfortable with that in this case. Do I? I could just use tree fern like I've done with my seedlings, but there's no roots on this. I'm going to go ahead and dump that. I don't know. It's an experiment, that's for sure. So now, can you see me? A little bit. This is what we're looking at. I don't know. So remember my objective here. I'm just trying to, when the roots do grow, which I believe they will, I want them to have air. That's what we look like. I like it. Now, this is Myco, so let's go ahead and pour it in. I don't know if that's going to work, but we will find out, guys. We will find out. So wish me luck. Gonna need it. All right. So now let's go ahead and, oh, I used most of my mica on there, so this is what I use. Great White. Everybody's been advertising this, really. I don't know if it's good, bad, indifferent, but most of the channels I watch use it. And I'm doing all this because I watch those channels, so I trust them, obviously. My gut tells me I have a better chance with my stump than I do my leaf cutting. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put this one in humidity because he's used to humidity, or, you know, he's used to my humidity. But I am going to put this one with my Anthurium pendens that I bought at the Orchid Festival that was rotted. I'm going to put him in there and see if that helps. So let's go ahead and... All right, so this is where I keep all of my, well, everything, almost everything. My alocasias, orchids, Hoyas, and then down here where the brighter light, oh, I got to get on my knees. I have cuttings down here. These are where the brightest lights are. So I'm just going to put him there with everybody else. And I wanted to show you, this is what I did. I put my Capria in the 8-inch pot, naked root pot, and it's thriving. So before I did that, I'll put pictures in. Future Sherry will, of what was going on here. I don't know if I have pictures of it, but this new leaf was stuck and it was hanging down on the ground and it was short. And so I said, you know, this plant just sucks water up big time. I decided to put it in here, and he's grown an inch within about, what, I did that last weekend? No, I did that during the middle of the week. Absolute stunning. Look at that. And he's putting out another leaf. So if you put the right plant in these, I believe it's going to be successful. Wrong plant, not successful. And I did the same with the black velvet yesterday, because these two both require a lot of money, a lot of water. So, and I'll eventually be putting the Capria babies, and probably all my alocasias are going to end up in the naked root pot once they come. So, all right, so now I'm going to try to get up. So this is where I keep my Anthurium pendens, and try to get maximum humidity. I keep him in this, whatever we call them, storage unit. And right now I need to find, another one of those NutriBullet things, if I have one, because I like that better. But right now I have it in this little cup, and then the glass is holding him up. So, and then I have my old grow lights hanging over. That was actually my husband's idea, because apparently UV rays don't go through these big plastic things. So I don't know if it'll survive. Sure hope so. I cut off 2 leaves when I got him. I'm not sure if I see any growth yet or not. It's hard to say. But we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that. This one's only in water for now, but like I say, I may change that if I can, and put them in this same thing with the bark. All right. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this, I'd appreciate a subscribe and like on my channel. It helps me grow and encourages me to keep videoing. A lot of times I don't video just because, well, it takes a lot, right? And you have a lot of plant chores like this, so, and it takes a lot. So thank your planty creators, even if it's not me. Thank them for doing it, because if they didn't, you wouldn't have these great videos that teach you things. And I love them. I watch them constantly. They're one of my go-tos. So I try to give back by subscribing, liking, and I've even joined 2 Patreon channels. So yeah, have a great one, and we'll talk at you later. Bye.